There are a couple of places that you can get your VPS hosting. I've used VPS LAN and GoDaddy in the past, and in my experience, as long as you have Windows Server, whether it's 2003 or 2008, both work great with Evo 2. There's just a couple of things you have to do when you're setting up your server. First thing you want to do is log into your VPS, and this is a GoDaddy VPS here you're seeing for the very first time. This is kind of the startup page, and the first thing we need to do is make sure that we can use Internet Explorer freely. Evo 2 relies on Internet Explorer, and so we want to make sure that we remove the advanced security features. So what you want to do is click right here on ESC, Enhance Security Features, and deactivate them for all users. What this allows you to do is download all the other software you're going to need to run Evo 2, all the support software and all the updates, and it's also going to allow you to run Evo 2 perfectly. And we're going to download a copy of Evo directly to our VPS by going to bruteforcesco.com/evo2.zip. The link is always the same every time they update Evo 2, and once you've loaded it in, you can download the zip. It only takes about a couple of minutes. It's really not too big of a file. Okay, it's always better to save the file. And here I'm replacing, as you can see, an older version. It's better to save it and then run it. So we open it. Way I always install Evo 2 on my VPSs, and I've never had a problem, is I just pull it right out of the zip file and drop it on the desktop like that. And it's an MSI file if you're interested, and you can close out those other two files unless you need to read the instructions, the two PDFs that come with Evo 2. Now, before we install Evo 2, we need to install two other pieces of kit, which are explained in great detail in the actual original Evo 2 manual, but I'll go through them here just to show you exactly every step you need to go through. First thing I do is I download Net Framework 3.5. Net Framework 4.0 is out now, of course, but 3.5 is all you need to run Evo 2 perfectly. So you download that and install it. So first we save it, and then we're going to run it. So again, it doesn't take too long, and quickly run it. And of course you approve it. What this does is set up the net framework that Evo 2 depends on to run on, this VPS. Okay. The other thing we need to do is make sure that we're updated to the latest version of Internet Explorer. So now we got to grab Internet Explorer 9 beta. Maybe when you're checking this, 9 will be out of beta, or your version 10, 11, who knows. You just want to download that, because otherwise you're going to be stuck with the native version from whenever your VPS was released. You could be on anything from Internet Explorer 6, 7, depending on whether you're using Windows Server 2003 or 2008. So again, it only takes a few seconds to download and install this update. And once you have these two pieces of kit installed, that's really all you need to do before you install Evo 2 itself. And in my experience, forgetting to install one or the other of these is usually one of the biggest causes of frustration for people when they're setting up a VPS or when they're installing Evo on a new computer. After a while, people often forget to double check the manual. So these two steps are super important. Evo won't even install unless you take care of both of these first. So it's just installing. Of course, it takes a few moments. Alright, now that it's installed, we just click Restart Now. And we're going to restart the server. And what this does is it means our VPS will now be ready, once it restarts, for us to reinstall Evo. So this is the logging off screen. As you can see, I'm using a Windows Server 2008 R2. I've run in the past with VPS LAN. I was running in Windows Server 2003 and 2008. Both ran great. And there's links to all the different good VPS providers that I've used and recommend in the resources section.